Yeah, we're just getting the shed back together, getting it back in place, ready for tomorrow morning, because the new pullets are coming tomorrow. So we've just dragged it back up into place. It's sat on the concrete now, where it is. That's where it lives now. So just get everything connected back up. I've got my bucket of light bulbs. With any luck, we'll put the light bulbs back in and the lights will come back on. But I would say 50% of the time they'll just blow a fuse, in which case you got to undo all the light fittings and blow any water that's sat in the wires. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they'll just switch on and then drink us back together. Yeah, we put the first light bulb in and the light come on, so hopefully they'll go without needing to be blown out. Because they just get a bit of dust in the light fittings, and you just unscrew all they are is a hanging light bulb. So you just unscrew the light fitting and just get your airline and blow all the dust out, because usually the dust is soaked in water from your washing and it just shorts out. So it doesn't take too long to just go through them and do it. But so I'm just going to get the water regulators, which I've left in the sink, and then we'll get all the water lines back on and get some chemical. These are the regulators. Get some chemical in the drinkers overnight, hopefully, and I'll drain it out first thing in the morning, and then we should be ready to go. Oh, I've still got to oil all the shed as well. So yeah, it's just loads of little tiny fiddly jobs. It's like oiling it. If you don't do it now, once the hens are in, you can't do it. So, and then you'll be sat looking at it rusting away for the next 12 months. So you've got to sort of make an effort to get it done while you can. And it is actually dry at the moment. So yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah, just I forgot to put the camera on, but I've just put this new piece of pipe on, because that's the one we had on before, which was a bit of a bodge. Because when we bought this shed and they came to install all the feeders, this has just got like a coil spring auger in, which I should have shown you before I put all the pipes back together, but it's just a coil spring basically. It's flexible metal. When they run it all out, it only came to about here, so that was all they had. So luckily I had an offcut from one of the other sheds, so I welded it on. I welded that piece on, so there was a join here, and then after about, I don't know, 2 years, it started leaking out of the pipe here in the bottom, and it cut through the plastic. I didn't realise at the time, didn't just twig that was where the bloody weld was. So there was a little bit of metal just where, because you have to sort of overlap them and weld them together. Because I was thinking, bloody hell, why is it worn there? I was thinking maybe there's too much pressure on the spring and the coil, and it needs shortening. But anyway, when I eventually did get round, because I taped it up a couple of times, and it was eating through the tape pretty quick. So and in the end, the whole pipe snapped in half. So when I took it to bits, I noticed that was where the bloody join was that I'd welded up a couple of years before, and I'd forgotten all about it. So I ground it all off smooth with the grinder and ordered some new pipe, which was going to take a couple of days, and I needed to auger food in. So I had some pipe that was the next size up, which they sent me as a cock at one time. So I cut a piece of that and put it over the top of that one as like a sleeve, and taped it all up. put it back on, and then it worked fine, didn't leak. And then when the new ones arrived, the new pipes arrived, I just never got around to changing it. I thought, well, I'll just leave it until it starts leaking, and it never did, and that was months ago. But now I've had it all apart, I thought it's about time I put the new one on. So hopefully it should last now. This shouldn't wear through the pipes. I've ground made it dead smooth. So yeah, just got this back together. I'm going to run this pipe now once I've joined it up, and just because anything that was, I did run it empty, but any feed that was left in the line will have got water in it when we were washing, damp and condensation, so it'll have just gone manky. So just run it empty and make sure it runs all the crap out to the end into a bucket before we put new food in. Because the last thing you want is the first thing that your pullets eat when they arrive is a load of mouldy old food. So you know, you want them to hit the ground and be eating straight away, and because they always lose weight in transport, so you want to get them eating and drinking as soon as they hit the ground, really. So you want to make sure all the food's fresh and the water's fresh. I've just noticed as well, joined the waters back up, put some water cleaner in, and it's dripping like mad. One of the O-rings is knackered, and I know for a fact it's a really weird size O-ring, really fat chunky O-ring, and none of the O-ring sets I've got will have the right size, so I'm gonna have to fiddle about with that in a minute. But let's get this, gonna get this feeder run out anyway. Do that first. Right, I'm gonna turn the auger on now, see what happens. Hold your breath moment, this. Where normally one of the pipes blows off and you end up with coiled spring everywhere. Here we are. Quite a bit in there actually. Turns out I didn't empty the pipe out. Did everything in a bit of a rush this time. Got a cup of tea on there, isn't it? There we are. That's empty. Doesn't actually look that bad, that food. Yeah, so this might look a bit fucking gypsy, excuse me, but what I do is get on this trolley thing that my brother made to crawl underneath cars, and just set off with my oil can and this air compressor, and just spin along underneath the shed and just oil all the metal parts that are going to be touching the chicken muck. So yeah, it's a bit of a bugger of a job really, but the hardest part's keeping the pipe out of your way. You're alright going down, it's when you turn around and try and come back up the other way, the bloody pipe just gets wrapped around because it's got legs all the way under. I don't know if you can see, but so you have to work around the legs. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. Yes, faffing around, trying to get things ready for the morning. I'm just emptying my feed bin. I've got feed coming in the morning, which will be the food that I want for the new hens that are coming in the morning. Hopefully, if it all goes to plan, the hens will arrive after their feed. They'll have fresh much as I can get in all these bins because I seem to have a bit of a cock up, but I've ended up with too much of this low protein stuff. But anyway, keep going. Yeah, that's about as full as I've ever had that. I think it'll be. Oh, it's got lifted. Could be a shovel out job that one. Let's see. Morning. It's the next day now, believe it or not. Yeah, had a quite good day yesterday. Got a fair bit done. Mark's had put the new EGR valve in this. Cost a bit of money, but yeah, he's got it all in, and he said he started it up and driven it to here, and he said no errors flashed up at him, so he had it running for a bit. So hopefully that'll be fixed and job's good and ready for mowing, hopefully. Yeah, so we might get. We sent the old one back. Could be a bit of a return refund. If they can make any use of the old one, you could get. I think it was 75 quid knocked off. So they've sent it off back to John Deere, and they'll see what they say. I don't think we'll get anything back because we broke the casting getting it off. The right bugger to get off, which was my fault. So I don't know how much of it is of any use really, but yeah. So can get this hen shed ready. See when hopefully this feed will turn up in a minute. Yeah, I'll go and drop all the chemical out of the water. That shed now, try and flush it through a few times, get the horrible taste of the chemical out of the drinker line before the hens arrive. And then yeah, got the bin empty last night, so I had way more feed left than I thought I did, so I ended up having to put it in all kinds of bins, which are a bit over full. But yeah, I'll probably finish this video here actually, and then find out in the next one whether everything went to plan or not. Probably makes no sense, everything I'm going on about. I keep warbling on a load of nonsense. I've no idea what I've said or whether any of it makes any sense, but we'll see. Gonna get me I think I'll go and just get me eggs on the go, and then I'll go and get that water drained out. So yeah, that'll be the end of this one anyway, so bye for now.